In 1919, he hit 29 home runs and was sold to the New York Yankees.
A three-run home run for Buffington. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2.
Bill Lee is now going over to a couple of the Yankees, and there they go again.
Hits it to deep left. That might send the Yankees to the World Series.
Varitek and A-Rod going at it. Roberts is going. Posada's throw. Roberts safe.
And what can I say? Just stick my hat and call the Yankees my daddies.
Welcome to Fanbase, a deep dive into the greatest rivalry in sports, episode 221. John Senecal and Brian Shackman here. Listen, we're going to be fast and furious. We're going to give, a little push on the playoffs, a little post-mortem on the Yanks and the Red Sox. We'll give a little pay homage to Mike Greenwell, the Gator, and we'll do some other stuff. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I noticed that every time we start talking, I feel like the music next door gets louder.
They start thumping.
That? It was fine. The next thing you know, as soon as you went into your
thunk, thunk, thunk. So we were right next to another radio station, Hot 93.7. It's all hip hop, and when they get thumping,
they are thumping.
But that is the life we lead. Anyway, baseball. I mean, for me, about the playoffs, and again, the championship series are starting, ALCS, NLCS. We are recording on Monday morning, the 13th of October, so we already have one game under the belt in the American League with the Mariners.
The Blue Jays lose.
I mean, I'm no different than I was before. I want Milwaukee and Seattle in the World Series. And as Matt Sorois, who produces the show and produces my morning show on WTIC News Talk 1080, neither team has won a World Series. So you would have a team that has never won a World Series, what I think would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, and when you also have Seattle, Seattle you have Seattle, you have Milwaukee, and you have Toronto. Toronto's 93, right?
Yeah, but listen, I want Milwaukee and Seattle because neither team has ever won it.
I don't want Toronto, I'll tell you that. They annoy me, obviously, because they beat the Yankees.
And everyone hates the Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers are... I mean, listen, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, right? They're going to be there because they have the resources. They have just unlimited... there's guys playing on that team I've never even heard of. On an NLCS roster, I'm like, who is this guy? I mean, I'm not talking pitching. There's random position players. So they are deep. They're deeper than can be, but they got their work cut out for them with the Brewers. The Brewers, actually, if you believe it or not, the Brewers have beat them every game this season. They're 6-0 against the Dodgers.
Well, that makes me worried about it.
Yeah. So that being said, now the Dodgers also have hit 80 more home runs this year than the Brewers. So there's a complete opposite teams. Right. The Brewers are the teams the Yankees should be, and the Dodgers are the team the Yankees are trying to be. Right. So that's the way I look at it.
I mean, I think the Dodgers can hit home runs, but they can also play baseball, whereas the Yankees can only hit home runs.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. The Dodgers, the Yankees are trying. Well, yeah. In the grand scheme of things, the Yankees are basically the Dodgers with a little bit more versatility.
So what are you calling then? Because I'm pretty clear. I want Milwaukee, Seattle. You're saying that you think the Dodgers are going to beat the Brewers.
I just feel like in the grand scheme of things, when it comes down to it, the Dodgers always find a way to win. I mean, how the hell was the baseball game going to end the way it did against the Phillies? Yes, They were up in the series, but you win that game again. That's momentum swing. But no, and it's happened once in the history of Major League Baseball. Other than that, where a game has ended in a walk-off error. It just doesn't happen, and somehow it happens to the Dodgers. That's not going to happen for the Yankees, I'll tell you that. That's just the way it works. I feel like the Dodgers just somehow find their way in. But yes, I agree with you 100%, Brian. To stick it to the ratings lovers, I would love to see Seattle against Milwaukee, and I think that would be a gritty series. But I do believe Seattle is going to beat the Blue Jays. Not just because I hate the Blue Jays right now, other than George Springer, hometown boy.
Yep.
I just don't like their vibe, but I think the Mariners are a better team.
I just think that they got some. I like their star quality a little bit, and I like the city. I want them to win, and I'm not anti-Canada or anti-Toronto. Seattle has Hall of Fame. I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. never won a World Series. I just think it's great. Milwaukee Brewers, may Bob Uecker rest in peace. Those are the teams because it shows that you don't have to be the Dodgers or the Yankees or the Red Sox to win. And I think that's a good message. And the truth is, who gives a crap about Oklahoma City Thunder? But it was good that a non-classic city won it.
Yeah.
And imagine if a city that you actually like a little more, like a Seattle or a Milwaukee won it. I just think it's actually better for the game, even if the ratings aren't as good.
Yeah, the ratings won't be great, obviously, but the energy will be there. And I would argue that the energy would probably be better than if you had like a Yankees-Dodgers series, because you'll have the fans in the stands as the game starts, not in the fifth inning, even in a playoff game or World Series game. So, and they're rabid. The fans are rabid. I mean, it was loud.
Seattle is a place. I mean, that is a place. And the people who don't know, yes, they lost the Supersonics, but they support their MLS team like crazy. Their NFL team does extremely well, and the NHL team has done incredibly well. So it is a good sports town, believe it or not. He's John Senecal. I'm Brian Shackman. This is Fan Base, a deep dive into the greatest rivalry in sports. Let's just do a minute or two on our teams. I mean, the Yankees, I think they deserve to lose. I don't think they played well enough.
No.
If I were a Yankee fan, I'd be extremely optimistic, though, believe it or not, about the future. But give me your take.
So my take is, and I said it before, I think the Yankees need to figure out a way to get rid of Giancarlo, because with him on the team, you're stuck. You're stuck in so many different ruts. You can say all you want about him running into home runs and getting on a hot streak, but you can't have a guy on your team that can't run the bases. Right? You can't have a guy on your team that you can't count on scoring from second unless the ball bounces off the wall and rattles around in the corner.
It limits you fielding-wise.
It limits you insanely amount of time, right? All over the field it limits you. Now, he has $54 million left on his contract. He has 2 more years left on his contract.
That's actually not a lot.
The Marlins are paying $10 million of each of those last 2 years. So when you think about it, the Yankees only owed like $34 million of that money. So you could swing him to a team and eat half of that. And if you're a team that needs a right-handed DH and you could get a guy like Giancarlo for $7 million a year, that's a great deal.
Totally.
That's a great deal, even if you had to platoon him with a left-handed bat towards the end of his career. Let's be honest, he's probably not going to play after this contract runs out in 2 years because he's just not versatile. Great player. I have nothing against the guy. He was a great Yankee, held accountable, always said the right thing, never tried to make excuses. Yes, he couldn't stay on the field, but that's how baseball works. Like, if you're going to fall apart. At least he kept playing, right, and did what he could do. I think you need to get rid of him because it opens your versatility. Now, a lot of people will say you need to get rid of, try to shop Rodon, why his value's high. He's got 3 more years left on his contract. I just said it a couple seconds ago. Look at the Dodgers. You can't get rid of pitching. You have to hold on to pitching. Mm-hmm. If you're going to keep Clark Schmidt's coming back. Garrett Cole's coming back. You got Schlittler coming back. You got Will Warren. Maybe you deal with Will Warren, but if you're going to deal anybody, you look at dealing a guy like Luis Gil, who has control, who has issues with walks. You can't fix that. That's hard to fix. Pitcher without no control is hard to fix. So if you're going to look to deal someone, you deal him. You try to get rid of someone like him, right?
Listen, Garrett Cole, Luis Gil, Rodon, Max Fried, Schlittler.
Yeah.
They're going to have the best starting pitching in all of baseball.
You'd think so if it stayed healthy, but you thought that going into this season. That's why I'm saying you can't get rid of pitching. The Dodgers didn't get rid of pitching, and look at where they are now. They're stacked going into the playoffs. They had guys sitting around all year doing nothing on the IL, right? And then you look at the Yankees more and you say, the home run and nothing's got to go. I mean, you can say
they got to play better baseball.
You got to play better baseball. Yep. So you need to, you have to make tough decisions. You have to say a guy like Ben Rice, that's an all or nothing player. Say what you want, right? And he's a left-handed bat, and his weakness showed in the playoffs. He ran into a few, but he couldn't hit good, right? Anthony Volpe, you got to fix that. I think he struck out more than anyone in the history in postseason.
It was bad.
It was bad, right? But you got to look around. You got to get creative. You have to make those tough decisions. You have to get rid of those players. You have to be able to trade a Spencer Jones, or you have to be able to get rid of, maybe you get rid of Dominguez. But
so would you give up on Volpe? Are you done?
If you could get a shortstop replacement, yes. But people will start screaming and yelling and say, go get Bo Bichette. That's not going to be an upgrade defensively. Bo Bichette's not going to be a shortstop in the major leagues. He's not. He'd be great if you could put him at third base, but you got Ryan McMahon sitting there. No one's going to take him because he can't hit, right? And he's a great defender. He's a great defender for what you're paying him. You can work around him. But what I'm saying is...
But he's not your third baseman on a World Series winning team.
Right. What you can't do is have 7, 8, and 9 year order guaranteed outs, and that's what the Yankees had.
Yeah.
So you need to go out and you need to try to get a guy maybe like a Jacob Wilson from Oakland, Sacramento, or wherever they are, right? Because they love trading players. They love trading players, right? You get a guy like him who doesn't strike out, gets on base. He doesn't walk a lot, but he's disruptive. He hits the ball. He puts it in play. He doesn't strike out on balls in the other batter's box. Yankees need to make some tough decisions. And if the last 2 seasons haven't shown you that you need to get better on the base pass, you need to manufacture runs. You're better off wasting 2 outs and getting a runner from first to home than you are hoping to hit a home run.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you.
I mean, it's a very simple concept, but to do that, you need to get rid of Stanton. You have to.
Yeah.
You cannot go forward and turn that team into what it is.
But this is I think the point is well taken. This is the first year where financially it really makes sense on both sides, right? I mean, they would have probably had to eat too much in the previous years, but now with 2 years left and what is being paid already by Miami, and you eat a little bit of that. I mean, even if you eat almost all of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, even if you, at 100%,
they can write that off.
Exactly.
If Penn State can fire their coach and eat $50 million, then I think you can eat
yeah, but there's all sorts of the taxes and all that. But listen, if you want to win, you got to get into the tax threshold. It's just how it works because you might be under it, but then you have to get the players that are coming through, not free agency, but as you traded during the season, right? Unless you're way under it, like a non-competing team, you're always going to be near that threshold.
He's John Senecal. I'm Brian Shackman. This is episode 221 of Fanbase, a deep dive into the greatest rivalry in sports. I'll be very short with the Sox. They do not have the depth at pitching, although they have decent pitching. But to me, they have to solve first base, and they have to add at least one legit top 3 starter. And that's to me like the baseline. And then after that, I mean, I just don't know. I think the Red Sox have some really good talent. But I think they need – I don't know if Casas can get his life together. I don't know. But they need to get a frontline starter, and they need to get 30 and 90 out of first base.
So what is your solution to that? Is it a trade or is it a free agent? Because I'm looking at the free agent first baseman. The big name is Alonso, right?
Yeah, I would love Alonso in Boston.
Alonso would be awesome in Boston. He would be awesome. His bat
is he worth $50 million?
His bat projects, but he is going to command $25 to $30 million a year.
I think more.
30 to 30.
Depends on the length. So he got 30 this year for a 1.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I just don't see him signing that deal again. I don't see him signing a kind of deal again. He has to get like a multi-year deal.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course.
Right.
I mean, he wanted 3 to 5 this year, didn't get it, took the money, bet on himself, and it's going to pay off. I think you need at least 3 years. And like
110, 120?
Something like that. Yeah. And do I think that it'll make a lot of people in the Red Sox clubhouse angry because they spent years not spending money on people? But do I think it's worth it? Yeah, because you know what? Boston would love him.
Yeah, he would be great.
And by a little low key, we used to live in Braintree. I don't know if he married her or they broke up, but he used to date a girl from Boston because he got his haircut by the same person I did one summer, like 4 or 5 years ago. So like he's been around Boston. And let's be honest, he fits the mold.
If you get him, bring him in, that frees up the opportunity to maybe use Casas in a trade package or whatever.
Who's going to take him?
I know. I was just going to say, but he's injured. But here's the big if here is if you bring Bregman back and you have those two on the corners with that leadership in the clubhouse, but
Bregman's going to be the same thing. It's going to cost you a lot of money.
So will the Red Sox pony up something like that? Now you say frontline starter. What are we talking about?
I have no idea what's available.
Chris Sale's 37 years old.
He's not coming back.
He's probably not going to pitch. You got Chris Bassett's 37. Michael King is 31. Dylan Cease is 30.
Is Michael King a lefty?
Michael King's a righty.
Okay. He used to be
Dylan
a Yankee,
Cease,
right?
Framber Valdez is 32 years old. He's a lefty, good left-handed pitcher. A little bit of injury issues, and he's coming from. He might want to come see Alex Bregman again.
Or Cora,
right? So I'm looking Shota Imanaga, Patrick Corbin, blah. Verlander's 43, dude.
Yeah, no. I mean, no. The point is,
Nasty Nestor's 31. Giolito is going to be gone.
There's not a lot out there. Is your point? And
there's not a ton out there, but I mean, there is some serviceable guys out there.
Yeah, but they need more than. I mean, when I just told you, Garrett Cole. I mean, Cam Schlittler. You look at him, you're like, would I take a guy in his mid-20s who throws 101
So basically, what
control?
you're telling me is they need to go out and trade for someone.
I think so.
So if you can't, you're not going to solve your issue with a Dylan Cease or
none of those guys.
Ranger Suarez, Framber Valdez, Jack Flaherty.
Valdez interests me a little
Freddie
bit.
Peralta.
No, you need to figure it out. But who are you going to trade? And who are you going to trade that's going to get some back in?
Well, the trade is.
I don't want to trade Duran. I don't.
That's your chip. Marcelo Mayer hurt. You don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
Roman Anthony, great player under contract, never trading him.
No.
Right. So there's your option. Marcelo Mayer. Christian Campbell under contract. You can trade a contract like that because it's low, but these guys haven't proven themselves right.
Well, I mean, you sent Campbell back to the minors. Mayer hasn't had enough of a sample size, and Anthony's a star. He's not going anywhere. And Costas is a head case. So
Isn't it amazing how fast all the players you had to trade just changed like that?
Yeah.
But you did get them. You did trade. You did sign a few of them, right?
But look at going back, look at Volpe, who was going to be the next Jeter, and look at him. I mean, things happen fast. And it's true. I thought Costas, after he went to the World Baseball Classic, he played so well, or whatever. He was in some tournament right after college where he might have been even in the Olympics, where I was like, this guy's coming to us. He's going to be a superstar.
And isn't it amazing how injuries can just make you forget about a player so quickly?
Yeah.
Like they just disappear. Like you're like, wait, we still got that guy?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to give up on Costas. I don't, but I mean, I like Bobby Dahlbeck too, and I get sucked in by a sweet swing. So,
but if the opportunity is there to get a player like Pete Alonso, who's proven, who you know exactly what you'll get with him, exactly what you're going to get.
You'll get 265 and 40 homers
and 110 RBIs.
You know what?
Every single year,
and it would be. I would overpay to get him, and I think he'd want to come, to be honest. And so I think I would make that my number one priority would be to sign that guy. Anyway, listen, he's John Senecal and Brian Shackman. Real quick before we go, I'm a child of the 80s, and I never was a big Jim Rice guy, but you think about left field for the Boston Red Sox going back to Ted Williams. You went Ted Williams, Hall of Fame. You went Carl Yastrzemski, Hall of Fame. You went Jim Rice, Hall of Fame. Who followed up Jim Rice? Mike Greenwell. Yep. Now, he's not a Hall of Famer, but people were stunned when they realized he played 11, 12 years in the majors. I loved Gator. He had a great swing, that inside-out swing. Would he play in 2025? I don't think so because he couldn't hit home runs, really, but that guy could crank out doubles and hit 300 in his sleep. And he was just so different because he wasn't a Boston, he was just from the South and just different. And I sort of lost track of him a bit. I guess he was a public servant, and he was
a commissioner, Lee County commissioner in Florida.
But he had cancer, and I mean, so I look back at him. Was he as dynamic as those other guys? But do I think he carried the mantle respectably? I do think he did.
Yeah,
he had tough shoes to fill.
Huge shoes to fill. It's like taking over shortstop, kind of like for Jeter. It's not. That's not easy lineage to live up to. What I was surprised with is how young he was, right, when he first started, because he came out of high school.
Yep.
He started in the majors as a 21-year-old, and he was gone by 32.
I know, young. So I mean, I didn't delve into what it was that it had to be. Obviously, that 12 years in Major League Baseball is a long time, right? It beats up your body and playing your whole life, so it had to be his body was wearing down, but still at age 32? Yeah, so young.
To just disappear.
I personally didn't know that myself. I mean, he's a career 300 hitter, which I don't care if you don't make the Hall of Fame. If you played more than 10 years in the majors and you hit over 300, that's incredible.
Yeah, 1,400 hits in 12 years. So, I mean, that's impressive. And if you look at the seasons that he did play, he only really played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 real full seasons of those 12.
Right,
the rest of the time were a lot of them were less than 100 games.
He got hurt a little bit. And what I would say, though, when you have a guy who can have an OPS in the 900s who doesn't hit home runs, I mean, look at that year that he was the runner-up in the MVP voting.
88, right?
I believe. He lost to Canseco, who was obviously juiced. Look at his numbers from a baseball perspective. They're incredible.
119 RBIs, 325 batting average.
How many home runs?
22 home runs. That's the most home runs he hit in his career.
So to knock in 109, my point is to knock in 119 on 22 home runs, that's a baseball player.
39 doubles. And it just goes to show you, too, how much the game has changed now. So much. Yep. It's changed so much. Those are huge numbers then. 39 doubles then. If someone hit 50 doubles then, it's oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. And then what did he had?
But he had a 956 OPS.
416 on base percentage, 531 slug, 946 OPS.
Yeah. I mean, so to me, to hit 22 home runs and have that OPS and that many RBIs means you're a baseball player in a classic sense. And that's what he was. He was just a ball player. And it's different. Today it's just tee to green. The home run is just, it's a different vibe. in the Moneyball era. But like I love looking at his numbers when he passed away because it speaks to a different era, which is bananas because he wasn't around that long ago.
No, and he also only 2 All-Stars. He really didn't win any other kind of awards or anything.
No, he just had that one money season.
But you wonder if he was healthy, right? Like if he actually, because like I said, he did not play more than like 6 full seasons.
I feel like he was the guy sitting next to Boggs on the plane drinking 20 beers. Like I feel like those guys didn't take care of their bodies in the same
He's
way.
the guy behind the guy too. Like he was. I remember when I was collecting baseball cards when I got to this is my age, like 11, 12, 13, 14 is his wheelhouse right there. And when I'm collecting baseball cards, he was a big deal on the baseball card market then.
Totally.
So.
Anyway, R.I.P. Mike Greenwell, the Gator. It was pretty cool stuff. Any last thoughts before we say goodbye?
No, I think it's going to be real interesting, kind of David Goliath, the Brewers against the Dodgers, and we all know that the Blue Jays, as we speak, are down 1-0, so Yankee fans rejoice, and hopefully we can say the Blue Jays lose.
The Blue Jays lose.
Yeah. Be careful what you say, because you never know. Your contract runs up. You're going to be like in your late 30s. You never know who you'll end up looking to hit DH home runs for, so all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, you can cross one team off the list for... You talking about Vlad Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's John Senecal. I'm Brian Shackman. You've been listening to Fanbase, a deep dive into the greatest rivalry in sports.